Something fun for you this morning. Thanks to Mark. Check this out, guys. See the phone here, right? And see this little NFC card, looks like a hotel room key. Watch this. Bam, and then what do we got? Oh no. Oh no, what does it do? Oh no. So easy. Coming soon. Hargray. You just totally disappoint me and everyone, all of the people that watch this podcast, all of them, all 5 of them. What's going on, people of the internet? I'm going to try to do that clip for you again and hope that the internet provider doesn't choke again. I assure you, we pay the bills around here. The video clip's kind of cool. Let's try it again. Restream. If it's you, I'll find out. Let's try it again. Episode 12, guys. We're here. Something fun for you this morning, thanks to Mark. Check this out, guys. See the phone here, right? And see this little NFC card, looks like a hotel room key. Watch this. Bam, and then what do we got? Oh no. Oh no, what does it do? Oh no. So easy. Coming soon. Yeah, there we go. Much better. So, my mama always told me, sometimes you had to catch your attitude to get what you need done. And I think maybe Hargray heard or Restream heard, and they gave us a little boost. Welcome to the ChatBot Podcast. Today is Friday. It is a beautiful day out here on Hilton Head and in Bluffton. And we have a very special guest with us today. His name is Phil. And man, if this thing does not stop acting up, we're going to have some problems here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. All right, now. Threaten them again off camera, and it looks like we're good. Episode 12. Got a great guest in-house. I'm about to bring him on. This guy is probably the most official, probably one of the smartest, like proven on like certificates and stuff, smart, and degrees and stuff. Smartest guy I've probably had on the show. And he's a personally good friend of mine. I made a promise to someone who sent me a very kind DM after the last episode that I would try my best to not say the word literally. I think I counted. If you drink, that could be a drinking game. Last episode, I think I said literally 400,000 times. I'm going to try to do that, not do that today, as I welcome our special guest, Mr. Philip Searcy from the therapy group, owner of the therapy group. How's it going, man?
It's going, brother. What is it that you say? Hello, every people of the internet, right?
People of the internet sounds to me about as politically correct as you could possibly be these days. I hope that doesn't offend anyone. It's not the intention. And man, I'm sure glad you're here.
Thank you. And I do want to clarify, this is not my office. I do not have a picture of a woman crying, I guess, maybe. Maybe she needs therapy.
Beautiful.
But this
Should have been
is
in marketing.
not my room. And I just want to clarify that.
Clarification not needed, my friend. I promise you. Now, we know each other from church, from a small group, and I think it's safe to say we immediately kind of connected. And
one dinner.
And my camera's like going in and out. Look at this. How bad is this?
Yeah,
it's jumping all around.
Hard, right, man.
I'm gonna put the camera on you if this does that again. See if I can't watch this, dude. We're gonna keep on talking, and I'm gonna see if I can't make some attitude adjustments happen here. And let's see, is it gonna be okay now? Look at this. See, it's getting scared. Whenever I get up, the internet or Restream, one of these guys are getting scared. Why don't you tell folks, because we don't really care for them to know all of our history, why don't you tell folks what it is you do, where your business is, and how this year's been for you, man?
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I own a outpatient therapy office, mental health therapy office over in Moss Creek Village. My background is actually kind of interesting. For undergraduate degree, I double majored in theater and psychology. Spent about a year or so in New Orleans as a professional actor, working in film and television, and kind of got to a spot that I realized I didn't want to spend my whole life trying to promote myself, and I wanted to do something that actually made an impact on somebody else's life. And so I went back to grad school, got my master's in social work, and I continued that path and did my supervision work. And now I'm a licensed clinical therapist, and I've worked a broad range of things. I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and was a site clinical director for a company over there called Carolina Outreach, and moved here 4 years ago and worked as an independent contractor, and decided, hey, it's time to open my own practice. And part of the drive behind that is I was starting to realize how difficult of a time that people had trying to get into therapy, and the stigma that's there about mental health treatment in general. I wanted to do my part to kind of bring awareness to the honestly the life changing benefits that come from mental health care. And so my mission really with the practice is that I want to modernize the therapy approach, and I want it to be a relationship. I always say that,
Mm-hmm.
therapy, 80% of therapy is the relationship. Because if the client that's sitting on my couch doesn't feel comfortable with me, it doesn't matter if I'm a good therapist or not. We're not going to get anywhere. So it's a relationship. And so I've really desired to put that out there and modernize. And then on the other end is making accessibility to treatment easy. And that's why I touch base with you for TTT to kind of help me with that process.
Totally. You have the right idea, because let me tell you, if you can facilitate the sale or many sales, hundreds of sales consistently of complex food orders. Do you know how many ways that you can make a pizza, my friend? You're smart. There are so many ways. Building out a pizza menu for online ordering,
No small feat.
I'm telling you what, now, TTT, from experience, I can tell you, it makes it a lot easier. But wow, there's just so many ways that you can have it your way. And
Right.
I think that the no barrier factor is a no-brainer, right? The more clicks that have to happen to achieve the goal, the less likely the goal is achieved.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that this kind of happened, so you guys watching know that he's a friend of mine, and he sees that I really try to focus, and I really do try to focus on the restaurant space, because it's what I'm used to. That's what my degree is in. I speak the language for the most part. I understand the problems very well, and my screen is going to drive me crazy. It's just going to drive me crazy. And so while it's pretty well known that I guess I do specialize in restaurants and hospitality, this platform works for any business that needs customers. Any business that needs customers. And so I think maybe you've heard me say that a couple times. That's why these podcasts are important, guys. You never know who's watching, and you never know what they're going to take away, good and bad. So for me, it's like the QR code and the NFC tag, which you saw in the beginning of the video when we just tapped the thing, and then you're able to instantly have my contactlessly. That to me is the easy route, because you're going to have people in a waiting room. If you're taking, are you currently taking inpatients inside of your office now?
Yeah, we put some new protocols in place in terms of having the waiting room closed. So we're just
Mm-hmm.
asking the clients to wait in their car, and the therapist will come out to grab them. We're required to wear a mask the entire session, which in the beginning was a little tough for people to wrap their heads around, but I think we're wearing them so frequently now that it's not as much of an inconvenience as it was in the beginning.
Yeah, it's probably like almost expected at this point, right?
Right. In the beginning I had some pushback from clients, and then now nobody even bonks about it at all.
Right. Well, Hargray is doing it to me. I'm going to try to refresh my screen, because while it says I have all the internet, it's not showing anything. So give me a moment, and we'll be right back. If I have to lose you, just stay put, okay? A moment. Hargray. I think it is Hargray. We'll get Philip right back, because, man, that's like the worst. Having such a great discussion, great guest, and then your internet just totally lets you down. And going live, guys, is not the easiest thing in the world. I promise you that. But we're going to have Phil back on any moment, and it's going to be fun, because he's going to get to talk about a gift that he is going to be giving you guys, especially those, and he's back. Great. Sorry, we're going to have a long chat, you and I, with Hargray after this, and just tell him, listen, guys, costing everybody time and money with this stuff now.
Right.
What I want
time is money.
And speaking of that, I do want to make sure, before Hargray totally just lets us down, let's make sure that the folks that are watching get to see the awesome thing that you have done in less than a day, it feels like.
Yeah.
And it's based off the QR code, like as I was saying. So I put this nugget, this idea in his brain, dude. When you already have customers, you just don't have a great way to keep the conversation going and get those Google reviews up. And that's what his mission was, right? That's what he was asking. How can TTT help me do that? So if they're there, walking in or walking out of a door, or sitting at a table, it's easy to have a QR code or an NFC contactless way to have them enter. To have them enter in a physical way the digital world. Digital way, and so I had this totally backwards. Digital way in the physical way the digital world, but you get the idea. And what he's done is he's come up with an assessment quiz. So if you can share your screen, Philip, I'm gonna make it magically appear on everyone else's screen and device, and we can have you walk the folks through why you've done what you've done. So I see, here we go, and man, this is a massive funnel, man. And I want you to be truthful with everyone. I want you to be transparent, and I know there's some people on the fence thinking, oh, Ryan, he does too much. He does too much for me. I can't do this stuff. It is not for me. I don't know if it's for me. Why don't you just give me your experience, and I'm going to shut up for a little while.
Yeah. Well, just to kind of follow up first on what you were saying earlier is you've started out, and it's been really awesome, by the way, watching your journey through this.
I appreciate that.
Going from the spot where it was just kind of an idea to like where it is now. And I mean, the
Google Sheets to this is a big jump.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so, the world is your Apple, and I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Is your Apple.
But the thing is, when you started out, right, it was because, like you said, your whole passion, your background was in that restaurant, food and beverage, hospitality, and so it was just easy place to start. And I think, in my opinion, all good businesses, you got to start with what's your bread and butter, right?
Great point, guys. And right now,
that's what you focus. I've seen so many businesses try to open up and start something that's too big, right? I'm doing all these different things instead of just focusing on what you do the best, and then from there grow, right? And so that's just something that I've seen with you. Is like you started with your bread and butter, and it grew exponentially very quickly, and I don't see a stop to it. But the thing, I want to say is that I feel there may be people out there who need to hear this, that thinking I don't have anything that I'm selling, right? I'm not selling a pizza. I'm not selling a backpack. I'm not selling
I've been there.
Yeah. So, but I was talking to a buddy of mine that we kind of consult with each other, another business owner in the area, and he was telling me, he's like, yeah, but we do sell, right? We sell our expertise. We sell hope to people who feel hopeless, right? And we have to sell it in a way that they're open and willing to accept that and buy into it. And so it's really important that process is easy for folks, right? And we are selling that we're, like I said earlier, our mission is to kind of modernize the treatment and approach, which part of the approach is you have to get there. You have to get into the door. And so the hardest part is exactly that. And so this is the thing that I'm the most excited about with the Tap the Table. And it is because I can do some work up front and save myself a lot of time later on. Right. And that's the thing I think you've got to understand about this. But it is relatively quickly, like this I did last night. So what this is here, I wanted to create it in therapy. We use a lot of assessment tools to kind of get us to a spot where we understand the severity of somebody's diagnosis, or if they even have a diagnosis. Now, in no way am I trying to say that this is a psychological tested assessment, but this is something I played around with and just did last night. So just for example, to kind of show folks.
Before we get too deep, but just
Yeah,
for people that don't know what we're looking at, because there's going to be a lot of those people. They have no, you're going to have a lot of. I'm
true.
going to siphon from your audience, Philip. All
Do it.
your viewers. I'm taking them. I'm hoping they convert to my side, and so they
They should.
can also have the power of TTT. But we're in Tap the Table, folks, and specifically we're in the marketing section, and we're in the funnel builder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Go ahead and hit back one more time on your browser. Perfect. So this is where it starts, guys. You're in. Yes. Go ahead. You take it away.
So start. Yeah. So and this is something. The truth is, Ryan gave me like a 15-minute tutorial of this last Friday. I didn't have a chance to touch it again until yesterday morning, just to kind of give reference. So in the marketing section here, you've got this is the magic genie, right? This is that it doesn't just grant you 3 wishes, it grants you everything all in one package. And that's the thing I love about it, because I don't want to bounce back and forth or have to, pay for more than one thing. So this is the thing that's beautiful about it to me. So obviously here we're going to show you today the funnel builder. So these are some things that I've been testing out, just kind of playing around with, just to see what I want it to look like.
Mm-hmm.
The mental health quiz is what I kind of played around with last night. So here you see all the ones that I've started. Kind of a
little bit of working going on.
Yeah, in a short amount of time, but I just can't stop. It's enjoyable. You get to see kind of the fruits of your labor really quickly, and it's fun.
It's the thing that will show you the results with your social media. And in fact, if you don't mind, Philip, would you go ahead and publish? And I just want to show them how it works on the user end. And go ahead and publish that mental health quiz flow. And I want to jump over on your page. I've got it pulled up here. And we're going to show them how this works. Because, again, like we talked 15 minutes the other day about how to make this or that happen. And then the next thing that I showed them is like, okay, now that you've got this built, let's make sure we're driving to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on my screen here and share. We're sharing 4 screens, y'all. This is for real. So here's this screen. We're going to see this guy here. And so, guys, this is Philip's page. And what we're going to do here is I've tried a post here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. There's a post. And I'm commenting as myself. I'm going to like it. And I'm going to say, hey, heard you guys have because I'm always correct with grammar, obviously. I never make spelling mistake, right? No. Hey, heard you guys have an online quiz, but I cannot find it. Okay. So it says, hey, heard you guys have an online quiz, but did you hear what just happened? Do you see this notification? What is this notification? Let's see what this is. Oh, wait a minute. We sent the quiz to your DMs. Oh, and another notification. They liked your Phil. Where are your hands at, buddy? How did you do that? How did you do that? Did you just reply to my comment instantly without thinking about it? Without causing?
I did in the past.
How crazy, right?
I did in the past to save myself time right now.
Exactly. So he pre-programmed his Facebook page to identify when someone's asking for this quiz, because he doesn't have, he's with a patient. He's in a session. And so are the other doctors that work for him. They don't have time to necessarily answer every single comment so quickly. And then if you don't answer those comments, people like me, and people know that I'm a big old baby, man. People like me will say, I took the time out of my day to leave you a comment on your page, your Facebook, your Instagram. You don't have the audacity to not reply to me. That's so silly to think, but if I think that way, I can guarantee you lots of others do too. So we see that we have the first notification Phil set up, which is an automatic like my comment, acknowledge me. Thank you, Paige. Already like you. We sent you the quiz to your DMs. That's exactly what I was looking for. Okay, so let's go to the DM, and here we see it. Ryan, are you ready to hit the quiz now? And I didn't do this, Phil. I didn't do this. Like, I showed you the things. but I didn't build this. You built this, and I don't know how long it really took you, but it works. I can. And the first question I'm gonna answer here for everyone is what it says. How often? Let me make sure you can actually see it. How often do you feel anxious and unable to settle down? How often? Always. I think I'm always anxious, ready to go, ready to do this, ready to do that. And I'm not going to take the next part of the quiz. I want you to show them, but this is the user experience. This is what your customers are going to see. And that's important for a whole lot of reasons. But I, again, am going to shut up, Ryan, and let Phil do the talking. So, my friend, back to you. You want to switch your screen and I'll flip you over. Bam, there you go.
Yeah, and the thing about this is the quiz, my hope is with that, and this is just still a demo test run with it, but my hope is that it can be something that, people like to take quizzes. They like to see where they stand. I have so many clients that come in and tell me that they've Googled their symptoms and they pretty much have an idea of what's going on. So I want to tap into that. I want to be able to give them what they're looking for, which is a quick way to know, do I need therapy? Do I want therapy? Or am I good? Right. And so what this is just a quick way to show folks, what's going on and based on some similarities of this assessment versus the real ones that we may use in office. So as he showed you, that first question, right? I start this message box where it asks them if they want to take the quiz. Then just very easily, and I'll just show you if I delete this one here, I want this tap of that button to take me to this first question, right? So how often do you feel anxious and unable to settle down, right? They never, sometimes, always. And I think, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you can add up to 8 different quick replies, right?
That's correct. You're good, man.
Yeah.
You're good.
So I have 3 here, which in the future, I think I'm going to expand this to more options other than just never, sometimes, always. But just for the sake, this took me like 30 minutes last night because I was playing around with it.
Hey, Phil, let me tell you this really quick because it just happened to me. Look, hi, there's the thing. Watch this. I'm going to put the highlight on my screen. Hopefully you're going to be able to see what happened because, I just showed them the demo and I said I was always anxious. And you remember I showed you what drip campaigns were.
Yep.
I forgot we added this, but can you, I don't know if you can see the screen or not. Let's see. I think I can. If I make this darker, you're going to be able to see it. Look at this, dude. Because it's so cool. Can you see what it says?
There.
Yes, dude. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say you're the only therapist or the owner of a therapy group that can, through a text message, start the conversation, continue it via messenger, and send a text message based on one of my answers. That is a custom customer journey that I think people not only appreciate but are going to expect. But I digress. Please continue, my friend. You're killing it. Very, very good.
No. And that's exactly it. And that's where we have this action here, right? So the question is right here. And if they answer always to whichever questions, this is just the first one, but if they answer always, automatically gets tagged as they're always anxious. And when you hear that somebody's always anxious, the 99% of the time, they're going to be dealing with some type of anxiety disorder. Because if you don't deal with an anxiety disorder, you're not always going to feel anxious. So it's just a quick first one, even if they don't stay through the 6 questions. I've already connected with them. I'm already able to reach out to them in a way that I would never have before. Now,
1,000% correct, man. 1,000% correct. It's literally a perfect way to explain it. I think if I could afford you, I would hire you to use that beautiful eloquence you've got to elaborate on this stuff because there's so many things that are happening inside of TTT. It's almost hard to explain what's going on. And if you would, because people they're still confused. I promise you. We showed them they're still going to be confused until they actually have it in their hand and really make a funnel for themselves. They understand the idea of a sales funnel, but this is a visualized funnel. Now, if someone doesn't go past this step, as you mentioned, is the table any good? What happens if they've? I mean, we know I got the text, but if that didn't happen, where would they? Let's see if it's a quiz time. Where would they see their customers? How would they even know anything?
Right.
Right. What do you know where to go and tap the table to see that? Right.
Right. And that's the thing where, and I think this is true in just about every business idea you can think about. You want to catch the client, the patient, the customer. You want to catch them in their aha moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they decide that they're ready to buy a laptop, that's the beauty of ads, right? And it sounds like these days Facebook can read your brain. I mean, you just think about something and then you get an ad on it the next day. But you want to catch people in their aha moment, and that's where with therapy, I think it is so important to catch people in that aha moment that they're ready to go and talk to somebody about their mental health, right? Whether it's buying something, going to something, scheduling something. That's what we're wanting to do.
The husband doesn't, or the wife doesn't, or the husband doesn't talk him out of the thing. They're in the moment, like that day you decided, Ryan, to buy the motorcycle when the wife went out of town, because some wise man taught me one time it was sometimes better to ask for forgiveness and permission. But impulse buying, it happens. Right, it happens.
Right. But yeah, and that's just the thing. I mean, with Ryan showing me this, and this is the thing that was just so impressive to me, was I was overwhelmed by the marketing side of things. I love to market, but I love face-to-face marketing. I love to go and talk to people and let them see I'm a real person. I don't put myself above anybody. And so, coming to therapy is not, coming to grovel at my feet. It's a relationship, right? It's this thing that we build together. And I was overwhelmed by the process. I mean, Ryan pulled up my Facebook page the other day, business Facebook page, just a minute ago. And I haven't posted anything for months, since the beginning of the pandemic, just because I'm overwhelmed. I don't have a lot of time, but I would much rather spend the time. And Ryan, like I said, 15 minutes, he showed me. And I was telling him earlier today that I feel like it's a lot similar to, but very much, I would say much better. So this is kind of not the best comparison, but the thing that popped in my mind was like, this is how I felt about MySpace back in the day, right? Where you could customize, and I want a blue background, or I want it to be a car, or I want it to be this. And that's kind of how it feels. And just getting to see the preview of how it works immediately, like I said, you get to see the fruits of your labor, and it's fun. And I know that it's going to save me so much time down the road. So it's worth it.
1,000%, man. And it is fun. It's fun to actually know what you're doing is producing results, because the majority of time I find that marketers these days have no idea if they're making $1 or not for their business. Right. And it's like, man, it's different, highly different. And I'm going to split the screen here for a second. It is highly different, in my opinion, when the business owner is doing the marketing themselves, because they have a lot more care. We talked about it yesterday on the show, got hyped on the show yesterday about fake people and those that don't care. People don't care anymore. But if it's your thing, and this is your business, you do care. And that's why you stayed up last night building sales funnels, the nerdiest thing you could possibly do. Like, it doesn't get nerdier than that. A sales funnel, building it. But the thing is, there are so many steps, and it was so easy to take the next step in your quiz that it didn't feel like I'm not filling out a contact form, and I'm not going on a super slow website. We're running off the power of Facebook, guys. They're fast, man. Name a couple sites faster than Facebook. Hard to do, aside from Google. And think about what that Facebook post did. When I tapped like on your page's post, commented a specific question that you also thought of up front, because the keyword there at the comment tool is you triggered it by me saying the word quiz in my phrase. So you didn't have to have a community manager, a social media manager respond to that person. You did it because you already knew what was going to happen. You already knew potentially someone's going to ask me for this quiz. I need to set up a comment rule that takes care of it. Done. And then instead of me just scrolling past your Facebook post, or going through their website from Facebook and then getting frustrated. And now I'm gonna go back to Facebook because I want to see pictures of my friends and stuff. You just kept them in an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to the chiropractors that just signed up not long ago, right before you did. They have the funniest little quiz I've ever seen. I showed them about the same, 20-minute tutorial. 2 days later, my phone's blowing up because I was helping them out, and I'm getting notifications too. They've got Mrs. Doubtfire in there. They have the most hilarious, like depending on if you thumbs up, thumbs down, hilarious gifts. I mean, that I won't say her name, but she might be the gift queen, man. She was hilarious. Gift game strong, y'all.
Strong.
I'm telling you,
GG,
but
GG,
I like that. You're a natural marketer, bro. But I know your time's valuable. I'm gonna let you keep it moving. Did you want to continue on your funnel, or did you want to show anything else, or did you want to what can we hit on for the people, baby?
Yeah, sure. So like Ryan said, I can pull up this one. The reason I initially started talking to him is how to start to make it easy for folks to navigate to leaving a Google review. And we all know that we live in a world where everybody reads reviews before they buy anything or go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's one of those things that fighting a lifetime of stigma towards mental health and trying to get people to stay modern with therapy and write reviews about their experience is really difficult. And so I wanted to make it easy where it's not out in the open, and it's just a quick, because people feel like when they're in their DMs and their Facebook Messenger, that it's private, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if anybody watch Social Dilemma, we know it's not, but it's still
true. Facts.
Truth bomb. Yeah, but still, it was one of those things that I wanted something to be pretty quick. And he talked to me about the QR codes. And so we're contemplating, once I finalize this Google review flow chart here, we'll be able to create that QR code, put that up in the office where people can have this experience prior to even leaving the Google review. And I think in my mind, my hope was that I'm triggering them to start to think about what they want to type, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as you see here, if I zoom in where this starts, right? So this is obviously already existing clients. So first of all, we're just saying thank you, because really, thank you for having the strength to seek out treatment, right? It's a hard thing. We're glad to be with you on this journey. Is this your first time in therapy, right? And depending on how they answer, yes, no, it takes them on a slightly different path till we get back on track, right? So they say, yes, okay, awesome. One of the hardest parts of therapy is making that first phone call, getting started, right? So we're taking that out of their hands. They don't have to make a phone call now.
And
they get to hide behind their screen.
I don't know if this is a psychology thing that you just understand, or if it's you and I are always texting and stuff now and going back and forth. The emojis, man, as simple as it is, guys, as simple as it sounds, when you actually incorporate conversational marketing, it makes a world of difference. Because think of if he was asking you to fill out a form on a website on a landing page, a boring form, versus asking you a simple question and then bringing in a GIF, making you smile, giving an emoji. There's no better feeling, none, for me. During a pitch, when I would walk into places and show them Tap the Table in its infancy stages, I would love it when we get to the part with the GIFs, man, because some business owners will look at you like, all right, what's this guy trying to sell me? What's he trying to sell me? And then they'll see, for example, a GIF of a cat DJing pizza. DJing pizza. And I'm like, it's okay to smile. It's a cat DJing pizza.
Right. Right. Well, and I think you gotta read your audience too, and like I said in the beginning, the hope here is that we're showing them that this is about a relationship. It is, most importantly, it's about their mental health, but that mental health growth is going to come through the relationship with their therapist. And so there's nothing better. And I think I was telling you, Ryan, the other day, to me, I use emojis with the people I'm closest to, right?
Yes.
So I feel like emojis have really become like a relationship thing. People have their little, this means this and this means this, and it's code and all that. But because it's just ingrained in our head that we do that with our closest friends, I think when we see an emoji, it automatically lowers our defense. It allows
Exactly.
ourselves to feel more comfortable being vulnerable, which almost every person deals with that.
If it's done
So
the right
that's
way,
where it's
and
there,
you
right?
nailed it,
Yeah,
if it's
right.
done the right way, it is going to showcase your authenticity, and that is what people crave, man. There have been, shout out to GyroTrack. I gotta go there. Just before we got on this show, it's part of the reason we're a little late. I was on the phone with Danielle, the owner of GyroTrack, and man, there is nothing, absolutely nothing in this world to me that's better than a client calling you up out of their busy day. And these aren't small businesses, guys. These are big boy businesses, man. Multi millions, man. For an owner of a company to call you up as the marketing agency and be like, dude, you're crushing it, just sold this, just did that, and they're all pointing at you. And that's why I do it. And you aren't going to inspire so many people, Philip. And this is what I'm most excited for, are things that you're doing and things that the chiropractors down the road are doing. And the restaurants, obviously, the restaurants have the coolest things ever. They can have the most fun with brand, period. But I think that I'm going to be blown away, continue to be blown away by all the creativity that people are able to fully, showcase. And the best thing, the results, because they're undeniable, right? You can't deny results from TTT because they're in your face every second of the day.
That's right.
How many people are on your customer list? Yeah, and you haven't even really launched this thing. I think you already have some people in there.
Yeah, but
some testing people.
Yeah, testers, friends, people like, hey, give me your feedback on this. That's what's cool about it too. And I'll tell you, almost every single person I've sent it to is like, whoa, what is that? Right?
It's a cool factor there.
Right. Because I think we're all getting used to bots, but
automation in general, like they're
right,
there.
Right. We're used to it, but here's the thing. The thing about Tap the Table to me is it's not just bots.
Exactly.
Right? It's so the much full more package, right? It's it's the genie in the bottle, but you get unlimited wishes.
Wow, and man, you're a born marketer, man. I want to trademark that line.
There you go.
I love that one. I think at the end of the day, you nailed that piece. I don't think I've said literally yet. And what I think that Tap the Table is to me, as someone that I've worked for people like you and other professionals all my life trying to market their thing, their service, their product. And what Tap the Table does for me, solves the problems, all those problems. Like, I just don't know if this is happening because I can't track this. Or, I wish I could only send this message to people that like red shirts because I got red shirts for sale.
Right,
and in your case, I need to send a message to people that want to overcome extreme anxiety. We're having the digital workshop, and I need to let them know that it's available. And I don't want to spend a bunch of money on Facebook ads. Instead, I just want to send them a text because it's way cheaper. And how much was it? We saw the price. It was 0.0075 cents. I think that was right.
Yeah, something like that.
TTT SMS cost was, yes, it was.
I think you're dead
0.00. This is how much, guys. I ain't very smart like I've told you guys so many times. I don't even know how to say this number. That's how much a text message costs. It takes, you have to send a lot of text messages, baby. So it worked out to be like, for if you sent 1,000 text messages every day for 30 days, I think the cost
is like $200. $224, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And that's not me. I don't want any of your money like that. That's all Twilio, and they're the cheapest and the best by far.
Well, and here's the thing, even about the SMS stuff, because it's still, for me and therapy group, falls within that relationship, right? Because we all have gotten the text like Jersey Mike's 15% off or double points day.
Hey, Jersey Mike's, I ain't got no text. I just keep getting the same thing from Ralph Lauren. Jersey Mike's, text me, baby. I want the deal.
But so we're all used to getting these like out of the blue. I don't really want to see this. This is interfering with my life, unless you want to eat Jersey Mike's that day. But I get those texts all the time, and I don't eat Jersey Mike's that often.
I will say this. It's in your Jersey Mike's is literally in your mind. Now, if it's for the wrong reason and it makes you not want to eat there, they failed.
Well, yeah, and I think it's if I were craving
Hungry for
Vegemite more
which
often,
I
then
am now,
it would
maybe.
probably it would probably work. But the thing with this, just like what you showed us earlier with when you hit always on that and you got
Hmm.
tagged, it triggered that
The
tag,
text, I
then
forgot
that
all about it.
right, and then that person gets that text. Now, when you get a text that's something about something specifically you just did or did an hour ago,
Hmm.
it feels more relational, like, hey, I'm just want to check
Totally.
back. I want to check back in with you. We saw that you're really anxious. What can we do to help? Right. That's like a friend. Right. Now, as therapists, we're
Such
not
a
trying to be,
good way to This is such a good way to say it, and I've made that case too, that chat at the table enables your business to become the customer's friend. They're texting
yeah,
with their friend, whether it's Messenger or SMS.
right.
And you know, I love the words you're using there. And we're, as marketers, on this kick of calling it chat marketing or message marketing or conversational marketing. We don't know what to call it. We don't. What you just said, relationships is what it's all about, and
Yeah,
that is what you're nurturing a relationship by having
right.
conversations, and they just happen to be
Right.
digital: email, text,
Yeah.
Facebook.
Well, and it is it's the ultimate social dilemma, not the film, but I love the title of that social dilemma because, the truth about technology is that our desire to be connected at all times actually disconnects us from reality.
And this is huge, guys. Listen to
Yeah,
this.
because
This is what he helps people with. You're getting free. You're getting a free taste of the awesome mind of this guy.
right, right. And so,
Don't trust
it's
me
like
for this, Bill.
this is where you don't see, you walk into a waiting room and everybody's on their phone. You sit on the toilet, you're on your phone. I mean, we don't like boredom. We need to be entertained. And as much as that can be devastating to a life, because I mean, think about social media. You're just seeing what is like what I love to call everybody's highlight reel, right? If you think of ESPN's top 10, if I was learning to play basketball and all I watched was ESPN's top 10, I would feel so defeated, right? There's no way I could do that. There's no way I could do that. But that's few and far between, right? And so when you're looking at social media, it's the same thing. Like this friend just got a boat. This person just had a kid. This person just went traveling. This person, got this, did this, did this. And when we compare that to our mundane, boring day to day life of getting up and eating breakfast and drinking as much coffee as we can to get it through the day, it's depressing.
Yep. Is there a percentage out there that's a common knowledge of like the percentage of depressed adults in the United States?
Um,
'Cause I know it
I
feels
don't
like
know.
it's getting
Yeah.
more and more and more, and I think
Well,
that
the last
unfortunately it does have a lot to
statistic,
do with being so connected. I think you're 1,000% right.
yeah, but the other side of the coin is we're not going to change that.
No,
We're not. And so that's kind of one of those things like you're going to fight it or you're going to join it. Right. And I think as
right.
a business, we have no choice but to join it because they're not looking up at billboards anymore. They're not even listening to the radio. They're so in their heads and on their phone, even when they're driving, that
Mhm.
you have to meet them where they are. Right.
Exactly.
Now, I think it's our duty
That's
to be,
yep.
yeah, it's our duty to be careful with that information, be careful with how we treat them, be careful with how we
1,000% right.
move into that realm. But I think we have no choice.
You know, and that's my point. That the Social Dilemma movie is absolutely amazing, and like I said, I think a couple times now of like the entire movie, I was like, "Yep, yep, yep, that's true. That's true. They're telling the truth. Man, they
Yeah,
really are telling the truth. It's
right.
exactly like that." And the thing is, while all of those things were true, the way that the connections are made is not inherently bad at all. Because for me, it's like if I am a grocery store and you happen to be shopping online and you're shopping through at the table and you add in your cart bananas. It's one of the first things you add, bananas and some cereal. I might suggest through the platform, two triggers that, dude's going to need milk for cereal and he's got fruity. Our AI computers have indicated he might like milk. I don't think there's anything inherently bad about that. I just
Right.
don't. And then it goes a little bit further where if you don't buy the milk, later on that day, you might be on Google looking for car parts and you
Yeah.
see an ad for milk.
Well,
right?
so,
That's the
yeah,
piece there. And then
that.
eventually you don't buy the milk or you do and you're out of the funnel.
But here's the thing I love that Tap the Table helps out with is
Mm-hmm.
the thing computers can't read is that person lactose intolerant, right?
Boom!
Do
Look at
they
that.
do
Look
they
at
need
that.
do they need almond milk? Is you showing them a gallon of whole milk, is that going to turn them off? Right? We don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But with Tap the Table through
You
the
can.
funnels, the thing I love about it is you're guiding where it's going. It's
Mm-hmm.
always going to get to where you want it to be
Yes. Yes. Yes.
unless
Yes.
they just stop. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but as I showed you earlier, first question, likely most people are going to at least answer one question.
Right.
Now I'm connected, right? But you're guiding them. It's like what I used to do with my daughter. I wanted her to have independence to make decisions,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't want her to wear a tutu to dinner, right? So that's one of those things where I'd set out like 4 outfits on her bed
Make
and
the
let her
choice.
decide, right? So
So smart.
the four options were all things that I approved of and was okay with, but she got to make that choice and she felt empowered. That's the beauty of therapy. And that's the thing I think Tap the Table can take us and elevate is we're always trying to empower the client to be able
Yes.
to take on life no matter what life throws at you.
Mm-hmm.
With marketing, we don't want there to be curveballs. So we're giving them options. We're taking them on a path that we've already decided what the outcome is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
but we know that they are going to have a unique experience no matter how they answer it, right?
Right. And it's important to see, and this is why it is a funnel, the visual funnel. You've got your 4 to 5, 6 questions laid out chronologically, boom, 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 boom. If you find, and this is good for you to take away, but you're a smart guy. You were doing things. Remember, you were adding and subtract. You were teaching your Facebook page how to add and
Math,
subtract.
right,
You were teaching a computer math today. Is really what you were doing, which is hilarious and scary and amazing all at the same time.
right.
You're teaching this thing to do math, and it's going to help so much. And you were able to figure out so much without even asking me. And I'm thinking, this dude is so advanced. I think that there are still going to be ways you're going to find out how to use this thing that no one's thought of, and just totally
Yeah,
blow yourself and everyone else away. And
yeah,
video is a big one. We'll talk about this one off air because you got the actor voice and the face, and you're just so good on camera, man. It's taken me like 100 tries to get to this point where I'm at. But I
you look
think
good.
where some of your questions are in words, especially if they take the journey, the customized customer journey to Philip versus the
Right.
other doctors. Video could explain so much.
Yeah,
They say a picture's
yeah,
worth 1,000 words. What's a video worth in this case? And it's nothing to shoot these 20, 30-second videos to give them the
right,
information. And
right.
I'll tell you what, man, I think that the biggest deal here, and people have been waiting all episode for me to drop this, is because Philip is a qualified professional. We have been lucky enough to get him to agree to, when he's finished with his quiz, fully finished, minus, any kind of personal information that, belongs to his office, what he's going to do is take this assessment quiz, shoot it over to me, and we're going to make it available in the brand new funnel starters section, guys. I'll tell you what, this one is thanks to my wife, and I don't shout her out near enough, but she has more connections than I'll ever dream of. And she said, babe, I understand Tap the Table now, and I think other businesses could use this, and I know some that really could. And I was like, okay, honey, well, if you could set up a meeting, that'd be great, because any business that needs customers could use Tap the Table in so many different ways. And I almost said it. I almost said literally. Did it. Caught myself. In less than 12 hours, she's got more meetings than I've gotten with big businesses all year long. It's insane. And
She looks a little better than you.
she's way, way prettier than me. I would rather deal with her than me any day of the week, truthfully.
You got to get her a hat, though.
She's got the hat's standard. Yeah, I got to get you one too.
I
But
know.
the thing that I want to say is, she was so smart to wake me up and say, Ryan, not everyone likes doing the things. That's what you always say. And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? This is like doing all the things for them. She goes, well, what if like a retail store signed up for TTT and they just wanted everything done with one click? They don't have that, right? I was like, you're right. How can we achieve this? And so what we've done is we've created funnel starters. I've got 3 right now. So yes, TTT, the only digital marketing platform designed for restaurants that does the things that it does in the way that it does, the best, period. Now with one click, you can transform your Facebook page from, being able to do all the things a restaurant pages should be able to do to office pages or to retail stores with one click. And Phil is going to finish up that quiz in the next couple of days, knowing him in the next couple of hours. And I'm going to throw that up there on the free funnel starter section. Guys, like on other platforms, there are people that build these templates and they charge a lot of money for them because they're so effective. They're so effective. And I actually call on these guys to help me a lot because they just done so much and you can't do everything. You just can't. And so Mark, shout out to Mark, who's a leader on one of the other platforms. He helped me solve some problems today. He's like the template master, and I'm sure he makes really good money doing his template thing. But with Tap the Table, because this is not for someone that wants to build all the things, like we've done it for you. We've taken care of that. Like, so how much time do you think you spent so far on automation building so far since you've got your account?
2 hours.
2 hours without using the platforms that I was using before Tap the Table was finished. I can promise you those 2 hours would be 2 weeks, man.
Yeah.
And even for me, because it's difficult to find all the workarounds and to find all the apps and to use Google Sheets and to get this new subscription. Like there's no all-inclusive tool. There's no all-inclusive tool like this. Right. Now, it's just a done for you deal that you can still be as creative as you want. And you've proven that. So I can't wait to launch your funnel starter. I can't wait. I'll be sure to share feedback. I think you should share feedback. You should share the funnel starter with other therapists around outside of your territory, obviously. And to show who the leader you really are is, man, because you are a leader. You're a outside the box thinker. And I'm very, very glad to call you my friend. I'm glad you're here on the show today, man.
Ditto, brother. Appreciate you.
Guys,
keep going.
Go ahead. And before we go, let them know your website and let them know where to find you to if they need.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we're it's called Therapy Group. We're in Moss Creek Village. So if you're coming from Bluffton heading towards the island, we're on the left right before you go over the first bridge there. We are an outpatient therapy. We have a range of specialties that we do. We've got 5 different therapists accepting most major insurances. So hit us up. Obviously I'm biased because I'm a therapist, but everybody can use a stint in therapy, right? We all got to get our head together and live our best life. That's really what it's about, is learning to be who you want to be, not who you were conditioned to be.
1000%. My man, thank you so much. I'll talk to you. I'm going to get off the show here and I'll chat with you again in just 1 second. Right, so don't go too far. All right. We'll see you later, brother. Guys, thank you so much for watching episode number 12 of the ChatBot Podcast. It's been a blast. I get so many DMs from you guys asking this question or asking that, but it really pumps me up to see the DMs that say thank you. All the Facebook groups that I'm in, especially the Silver group. Thank you guys so much for always dealing with my craziness and fun antics. I hope they're fun. I appreciate you guys and hope to see you guys soon on episode lucky number 13, whenever that's going to be filmed. I'm sure it'll be fun, jam-packed with all the nerdy things I can throw at you in like an hour. I hope all of you have the best weekend you've ever had. Literally. I hope you and the other 3 people that I've watched today, I hope y'all all literally, I said it, dang it. I said literally. I hope y'all all have an amazing weekend. You win, Gary. You win. I said it. I probably said it other times too. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you later.